Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Glory Reds podcast. It's your boys, Don Benito and Pastor T. When was the freaking last time I said that? When was the last time I said that? Huh?
Last
Pastor
season,
T,
bro.
what's good?
Last season. Feels eons ago, man. It's
What's
been a
good, my
while.
guy? What's good? What's good? What's good?
Yeah, man. Just so chilled, bruh. Like,
Yeah?
the result yesterday made me sleepy.
Yeah?
But yeah, we'll definitely top it up, you know.
Yeah?
But I think overall, I'm happy. I'm happy.
Yeah?
I don't want to spoil the good news. You know what I mean? We're
Yeah?
top of the league.
Temporarily.
Yeah.
Temporarily.
For now.
But we still talk. But we still talk. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what's funny? A lot of people, like, after the game, people were quick to jump on United and keep saying, we were lucky, this and
Yeah.
that. And you know what? I think in this episode we're going to debunk all that bullshit. Like, we're going to put an end to that shit and talk
Yeah.
about what's really, really good with Manchester United. So, Pastor D, man, it's
Yeah,
been a
man.
minute. It's been a minute since we've been here together. I think it is only fair that you, Pastor D, hit us, start us off with your sermon there and tell us what you felt, how the game went for you, my guy. Like, I'm pretty sure you saw start to the end, and
Yeah.
I know you must have something for someone, everyone. So I'm here. I couldn't wait. Like, this has been something that I've been looking forward to, my guy. So
Yeah.
please,
You
yesterday's
know what?
game, 1-0.
Yeah.
Let's go.
You know what, man? As much as I want to give all my opinions about what happened yesterday,
Yeah,
who started, who didn't start, and whatever,
yeah.
I don't know. I think after sleeping over it, I decided, I'm not going to say anything until
Mm-hmm.
like 3, 4, 5 games into the season, you know. I just feel like
That's a very
speaking.
diplomatic route.
Yeah, because I feel like speaking now is a little bit unfair.
Yes.
It's the beginning of the season. People are still getting up to speed. We're still trying to figure things out. I don't want to start calling out names. Why is Rashford still starting? Why wasn't this player
But why?
substituted
Why?
ahead of who?
Why?
You know what I mean? No, and those are, you know what I mean. Those are
I,
definitely good
mm-hmm.
questions to ask. And it just brings me back to that thing. It's just unfortunate that, again, I don't know what happened, but there's a video that's going to drop and basically talking about, that typical United team versus that strongest United team. And yesterday was a typical example of, you know, putting out a team that looks familiar, putting out a team that people expect to see, the Marcus Rashfords of the world, and it's like, is that really beneficial to where we need to be? And I think this is a fair observation. I think it's a fair opinion. I don't think there's any malice or bias behind it. I
Mm-hmm.
hate Marcus Rashford. This has got nothing to do with I don't want to see Marcus Rashford starting for Man United, but clearly Garnacho has a much bigger impact in the game than Marcus Rashford. Ahmed is also doing his thing. Zirkzee scored yesterday. What justification does Marcus Rashford have for the next game to start? Honestly, honestly.
Yeah.
So I don't want to stain the victory of complaining and stuff, but just to point out, like, man, yesterday could have gone a whole different direction if it wasn't for Garnacho coming through. If it wasn't for Zirkzee, just slotting the ball in so elegantly. When he scored that goal, I was like, wow, what a way to make a debut in the Premier League at Old Trafford when you have so many people against you. And I think those episode where you talked about, the weight that comes with being a Manchester United player.
Mm-hmm.
And yesterday they interviewed Lisandro Martinez after the match, right? They asked him a whole bunch of questions. And one of the questions was the pressure of being a United player. and the way he answered it was just so beautifully. He fully
I
acknowledged
didn't see that.
he you should go and check it out. There's
Mm,
one player who fully understands the dynamic, how huge Manchester United is. He acknowledges that if I'm going to mess up, it's fair for me to be criticized, but I need to go and work hard, to make sure that I'm performing at the highest level because this is Manchester United. There's always scrutiny around the club. So his answer like really shocked me because I just didn't expect to hear that, and this is a conversation that me
that's
and
the
you have had
butcher, man.
a lot
Oh,
ourselves, about do these players actually realize they are, and some of these players who go and cry about the criticism and stuff like that, have always said it's going to come with being a Manchester United player, whether you like it or not. It's up to you if you're going to be hard enough, if you're going to be thick skinned to take on that criticism, not look at it from a point of these guys are hating, but yeah, some of it is troll, but just giving you that extra motivation to go and prove people wrong. Um, but yeah, man, like Zirkzee, I'm so happy that he scored because it shuts everyone up from the jump. You know, if he came in and maybe missed a chance or whatever, you know how the
no,
media is they're going to run with it. X amount of money flop
as
at Manchester
usual.
United, missed the
Mm,
sitter,
mm,
another Rasmus, whatever. You know what I mean? The stories were
mm,
going to run wild. So for him to come in and do what he did, man, it just shut everybody up. I loved it. I
mm,
just knew waking up this morning, jumping onto all the news tabloids and stuff like that, I was not gonna see any bullshit because there was no room for anyone to say anything.
mm,
Literally. And if they're
mm,
gonna say anything this soon, no one would entertain it because everyone will still be behind the thing of it's the first game of the season. And they got their win, they got their 3 points, you know. It may have been a little bit, to get that win, but hey man, we got the 3 points,
mm.
and that's what counts. But
One thing.
just to cap it off, my concern is still there for the goals. We created once again, we created so many chances, and I don't know what it is, Ben. I don't know what it is, but United, they need to be more sharp, you know? They really need to be more sharp. That Garnacho, like there's so many opportunities that they fucked up. But for me, that Garnacho, and I know these things happen, Ben, but this
Mm,
is like the first game of the season. In that moment, Garnacho had no excuse not to bury that ball.
mm,
Open net, fam. Open net. Why are you being all willy nilly about it? Why are you just like, open net? I'm just gonna throw my foot there. Nah, fam. Be fucking precise about it. The ball is
mm,
coming. Like, if you have to, like, what you call this? Like in sports, there's a technique on how you do things. You know what I mean? Like in tennis,
mm,
whatever. They'll show you like this is the basics of how you serve or how you do like a forearm. You have to twist your hip, then drive forward. If it means you like doing the rooted basics of making sure that ball goes behind the fucking net, then you fucking do that. You know?
mm,
We don't want to
mm,
look back, Ben, and be like, if fucking Ganacho scored that
mm,
open net goal, we wouldn't be in a situation where it comes down to like goal difference or whatever.
mm.
United need to be scoring a lot of goals. Winning is not going to be enough. It's not. We need to be scoring a lot of goals. But yeah, man, first game of the season, like I said, I don't want to be too, we won. We
Well,
got
I mean, for someone who says I don't want to be too, you just went in. He just went in. And you
uh,
know what, though? Like,
yeah,
I understand you 100% because you watch the game, you be like, listen, we've been doing everything in our power to start off the season on a front foot.
mm,
So obviously, we want to see something different from what we've been watching last season, preseason. We want something better. So it's
yeah,
totally understandable that you have your little criticisms there and there about certain things. Because truth be told, bro, you know, and there's a very weird thing that you might find this very hilarious, but I feel like Garnacho was not expecting Rashford to pass it. I know that might sound weird, but
no, I get
yo,
what you mean. I get what you mean.
it's just one of those things that just happen. For me, honestly, I really enjoyed the game. Like,
Yeah.
all bullshit aside, all fanatic aside, like it was a breath of fresh air.
Mm.
Looking at Mazraoui fit like a glove into that squad. I mean, obviously he didn't do a lot of what he was supposed to do as the wing back bombing, but it was a steady performance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Zirkzee's cameo coming in before his goal, man. I think he had already just like 10 touches too. I don't know how many touches he had. That just showed his movement. But I don't want to talk too much about these guys that the new guys that came in. I want to talk about the guys that have been there. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Because
Yeah.
there were some pretty impressive performances yesterday. Oh, I know. I mean, it's because we are united. We'll be looked at as not good enough. But I want to take positives from this game. I don't know why. I feel good. I was. There were very strange things that I saw, especially like with Harry Maguire. I don't know why, but I feel like Harry Maguire has taken a page out of Luke Shaw's book.
Yeah.
Because you think about the people that have just jumped in, and I look at the way Harry Maguire was playing yesterday. Harry Maguire yesterday, the way he was playing was that. I know people are gonna be like, nah, nah, but I was impressed.
Mm.
Like, yes, he got beaten a couple of times here and there. Even the butcher got beaten a couple of times for pace and stuff
Yeah.
being caught out. But other than that, the solidity, oh my god, it was so good. Like he was
Yep.
shutting shit down. And I kept laughing throughout the game. This is the funny thing. I kept laughing. I'm like, yo, Maguire, can you relax? Direct is on the bench. Like he's on the bench. Relax.
Yeah.
This guy was just stopping everything. Butcher, obviously, I was a little bit worried with Adama because Adama did some shit, and I was just like, what the? But quickly, they were able to neutralize him and shut him down and keep him quiet. Even I think Iwobi is another player that didn't get a lick, and I give
Yep.
praise to Mazraoui. Mazraoui had that nigga on lock. I
Mm.
was I was just happy with a lot of performance. Menu, Casemiro. I know people are gonna shit on Casemiro, but my God, Casemiro was one of the best players yesterday on that pitch. And I know when I
Yeah.
say the best players, people will be like, listen, this is the standards of Manchester United. I know what I'm talking about. I'm sure you understand what I'm talking about. Yes, it's not the best. We're still waiting for Ugarte to come in, because he's gonna be the guy that's gonna replace Casemiro. But like I said, if we're not going to replace Casemiro, why should we sell him?
Mm.
Why should we let him go? Let's keep him there until whatever happens, until they decide to sort that thing out. Then you can get rid of Casemiro. But right here, right now, Casemiro is needed in that team. That call. Bruno Fernandes. My Magnifico. Unlucky for him. Couple of chances there. He's playing as a false nine. D,
Mm.
I was thinking yesterday when we were chatting in the group when the other guy was wondering why Mount was in, and you came out and said, "No, I think they're bringing Mount in because he's a press like for pressing," and I was
Yeah.
like, "That's completely spot on."
Mm.
Now, one of the things that pissed me off yesterday, and this is my first criticism of Eric
Yeah.
Ten Hag, that I didn't like was taking out Mason Mount. I didn't get it.
Mm.
I didn't understand. I get that. Okay, I get that Mason Mount was on a yellow. I do. But from the moment he got his yellow till the point that he left, he played a lot. And when you think about how he was playing, Mason Mount, the
Mm.
pressing demon, that boy, you know, I will tell you what I think or how I think we should fit him in. But I wanted to like just talk about him being in that team. I didn't understand why Eric Ten Hag got rid of Rashford. I mean, got rid of Mason Mount instead of Rashford. Now, I don't
Mm.
want to go too much on Rashford because that's a story that will just keep on going and going and going.
Yep.
But I wasn't completely impressed with Rashford. I think he could have done more yesterday. The complacency, I was just not with it, and he
Yeah.
kept being on there. And then when I look at Mason Mount, the guy who was, man, the way Mason was pressing yesterday, bro, I don't know if that is even normal. I don't know. Like, I don't know if he's going to keep his legs going because, man, he was
Exactly.
on it, on it,
Yeah.
on it. And he got a yellow in the process of him being very pressing too
Yeah.
much. So I was thinking, Rashford stayed on, which I just thought that was like, nah, this was nonsense. Garnacho was supposed to come in for Rashford, not Ahmad. Ahmad maybe Anthony or Sancho or someone, but not those kids. And for some reason, I had that feeling, which is why I had a problem with my fantasy. I wasn't sure about who and who between the two. I went with
Mm.
Garnacho, then I started Ahmad. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, you take out Rashford, you put Garnacho, you have Ahmad, Mason Mount, and Bruno in that. Now, here's the weird thing:
Mm.
you don't make Bruno the number nine. He's the false nine. And then you
Yeah.
have Mount right there with him because
Yeah.
bro, bro,
Yep.
Mount
Yep.
does the thing.
Yeah.
I was so impressed and I was so disappointed with Mount coming off. Like, that is the only criticism I have for the gaffer yesterday. Taking out Mount, somebody who was more energetic, more enthusiastic, more like he was doing more for us than what Rashford did. Like, and then to top it off, Marcus Rashford with his howler. Like, that shit. First of all, him trying to pass showed me this guy is still not confident. This
Yep.
guy is not gotten out of his head.
I
And
honestly
then he
thought he
just,
was gonna go for goal.
yeah, like,
I
show us
honestly thought. Mm.
Rashford is back. You feel me?
Mm.
But he didn't. And that is a worry. And
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about that from the beginning. I'm not giving him a chance. I'm not going to sit here and say that, nah, he was okay. No. From now, like that, what Rashford did, he needs to stop it.
Mm.
Either it's all guns blazing or nothing,
Yeah.
because he will not get better. He will just
Mm.
keep on being complacent and will keep on shying away from the whole thing, thinking like the couple of runs that he's making are good. Those maybe he's one off assist or ping to the other side of the nah.
Mm.
No, 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 no. I honestly did not like that, and I felt like Eric Ten Hag needs to stop with the whole favoritism thing. That, I'm calling it out. Like, I didn't get it. I didn't
Yeah.
get it. But yeah, man, that's the only criticism I have for the guy. Like, really,
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
it comes to that. Defensive wise, I have another criticism, and people said this guy played well, and it's mind-boggling to me. But I'll say my piece.
Okay.
People are saying Diego Dalot was on point yesterday. I didn't see it. Now, now, for me, it was normal. For me, it
Yeah.
was Dalot playing out of position.
Yeah.
Dalot, when he went to the other side, where I think Iwobi was, when he switched back, those guys were having their game, like they were enjoying themselves. When he was
Yeah.
right there, there was none of that. So that
Mm.
already to me was something. But I feel like Jalot's not fit, not
Mm.
100% fit. He doesn't look fit to me. He's not playing like a player that is what I know Dalot when he's 100% fit.
Mm.
Dalot is I know. And for me right now, he doesn't look like he's fit. Now, is that his fault that he's starting and playing in the game? No, it's not. That's Eric Ten Hag, because we've been here. This thing of him putting a player that should be there or that shouldn't be there, that's always on Eric Ten Hag. Marcus Rashford, Garnacho, that whole situation, he needs to solve it. And the problem is, everybody, all the fans, they know who their wingers are, their preferred wingers are. They know.
Mm.
Like, I think it was already sealed. Like, Garnacho making his cameo against City was like, listen, this boy must start on the left. Ahmad must be on the right. Finish and clap.
Yeah.
I think it was written in the stars. I think all the fans agree on that. If
Yeah.
Eric Ten Hag doesn't, I don't know what word to use, follow up or switch it up. I don't know which word to use, but fix
Yeah,
that
yeah.
situation. He's
Mm,
going to be on the ball, chopping board, in the sense
yep,
that everybody is going to be like, hey, he's not doing this. Hey, creates
exactly.
stories which will eventually now become a big thing, a big story. Then he'll be on the, I don't want that. So if he needs to sort that situation out. So
Yeah.
that that's the only thing I have for that game. Like other than that, man, I was happy.
Yeah.
Like long periods of the game, there was some very good, nice movements here and there. I was impressed with a couple of the 1-2s and the
Mm,
gameplays, and it was nice to see. It was beautiful to see. Last season, I think you can pick with one hand how many times we saw some very entertaining football.
yep.
And I can easily say that from the first game of the season, like there was some entertaining football in there. There was some
Mm,
very intricate, nice 1-2. You know, hey, it was nice. It was nice.
yeah.
And, I think we can only get better, So, for me, everything so far so good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 No, man, I agree with you. So far, so good,
Mm,
and we're yet to see, what's gonna happen. But definitely, like you pointed out, much more entertaining than last season. You can definitely see there's something different.
yeah.
It's just now about getting that consistency. Working on that starting 11. Like Ten Hag just needs to suck it up and just and Rashford also just needs to take accountability on his end and not throw a
Bruh.
fit when he's not in the starting
Bruh.
11. He's just not on
Bruh.
it. He's not on it.
He's not.
Garnacho has to start. Ahmed has to start. Zirkzee has to start. I don't want to hear anything else.
And
Maybe for now, Rashford can start and Zirkzee
mm,
can be coming off the bench because, again, we had this conversation about Zirkzee not really being,
yeah, we're not
100% to
sure.
play
And
90
you called
minutes.
it. You called
Yeah.
it. Because on
Mm.
your fantasy you have Zirkzee, meaning
Yeah.
you knew you had a feeling. But Eric cannot throw us a curveball.
Exactly. So yeah, man, he just needs to nail that 11. I think once he nails it, we shouldn't have any problems moving forward, especially with teams like Fulham.
Now,
So
now, Dave, you and I, we had a conversation, or a conversation was brewing about our possible starting 11 or how it should be and blah blah blah. I
yeah,
was waiting for this moment because only after you see the game can you now start saying, you know what, I think I prefer this guy here. I think I prefer this
mm,
guy here. And just based on on that, I know Hoyland is out. I know Euro is out.
mm,
So it can you can easily say it's incomplete,
yeah,
but not really, you know. So tell me, what's the word? Is it probable or possible starting 11
okay. Um,
based on all the evidence that we have seen?
from all the evidence, I think
Yeah.
top three.
And take into consideration, yes, that Delete came on for 10 minutes, and yes, I get that, but
Yeah,
he's the future.
oh,
So
definitely.
yeah, so I don't want it to just be on the minutes, like it can be
Yeah.
on, yeah, it's the overall, just based on what you saw.
Okay. So players that are currently fit right now to start.
Not fit, not fit.
Everybody, the whole
Like,
squad.
well, that's why I said, that's why I took out Hoyland and Euro because those guys are very aged, like they're out, right?
Yeah.
And Luke Shaw is only out for a month. He's back after the international, like September, he's back. Next
I
month,
don't
he's back.
I don't
So
trust that information.
yeah,
I'm
I mean
sorry.
that's what they gave. If that's what they gave. So if they gave us that information, means they were lying to us. But they told us that he's coming out in September, and we are
Yeah,
waiting
yeah.
for September. Yeah.
Alright,
So
alright.
Luke Shaw, you can easily say he'll come back, but not now. But
Yeah.
those guys that are there,
Okay. So
all the
minus Euro, minus Luke Shaw, minus Rasmus Hoyland.
well, yes,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. Zirkzee up front for sure. Garnacho, Ahmed. That's my top. That's the front three.
thank
I
you.
don't see it any other way. Midfield
Mhm,
speaks for itself. Casemiro, Kobe Mainu, Bruno Fernandes. There's no competition there. That's it.
mhm,
You know.
mhm.
back line. Hey, ish. Yeah, yeah. This one.
Gee, this is a brand new backline. Like
Hey man,
you
this.
just bought new cars. Why are you struggling, man?
You know what? In all honesty, it speaks for itself. I
Uh,
think same lineup as yesterday, obviously minus Harry Maguire. So
yes,
delete um Licha low. But with that being said,
mm,
just like, and I agree with you with Harry Maguire's performance yesterday. And I remember I was even having a conversation with Tebow, and I'm like, because we're talking about players that need to leave the club and stuff like that. And it's like, no, Harry Maguire and Scott McTominay need to just go, 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 go. And I'm like, you know what? Actually, I don't mind Harry Maguire staying. Because Harry Maguire, despite maybe his performances in recent years, he's just always been that player that you can count on. He's always fit, always ready to
it's so
play,
reliable.
Mr. Reliable. And
Mm.
yesterday he came through, he came through with no
Ah,
fault. Like,
hey,
if you're going to criticize Maguire's performance yesterday, I don't know. Like, you just have
yeah,
an
you'll
agenda
be
with me.
looking for something,
Yeah,
you
just
know?
looking for something that honestly is
Yeah,
not even there. So, it's such a that um despite his good performance yesterday, we have to sit him down. But then again, and I don't like bringing this up, eh, it was Fulham. You know what I mean? Like, imagine if we're playing like a Liverpool or a City or whatever. Was he going
mm,
to be able to handle the pressure? The Arsenals and
and the
stuff like that.
speed.
You understand what I mean? So maybe from like teams like Fulham, he can shine and look like, oh, look at me. You know what I mean? And again, I'm not trying to take shots, but I'm just saying, like, when we play the
No,
big
I
boys,
hear you. Yeah,
you trust to actually be there at the center back position? Harry Maguire or Delete? You see? So that's where I have to draw the lines and be like, look, you had a good performance yesterday, but I'm sorry. It has to be Delete for me. So yeah, man, that's my starting 11. What's yours, bro?
you know, first of all, when I was watching when the starting lineup came out, I couldn't figure out Mount. I couldn't. I'm
Mm,
like, Mount is in. Okay, does that mean Bruno goes wide? Like I was confused. Like I was like, are we now reverting back to this whole thing? I see the way the game panned out, and I'm like, all right, okay. So him and Mount and Bruno were just interchanging, sort of. Like it was like they were just,
yeah,
doing that thing, and I'm just like, all right. And I'm sorry, but I mean, I don't know. I like Mount. I really do.
yeah,
But then when you just look at the grand scheme of things, Mount
yeah,
is when you look at his player profile, Eric Ten Hag is forcing him into this team.
yep.
He is forcing him. He's trying to find a situation for him, and
Mm-hmm.
he's forcing him. I think Mason and here's the funny thing: Mason Mount is not a bench player.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
yep.
Mason Mount starts games. Like
He
he
starts
is not a
games.
player
Mm-hmm.
that should be on the bench. He should be
Exactly.
starting games. So it's a very tricky situation, in that regard.
Yeah.
And I feel like Eric Ten Hag, even his starting lineup yesterday, he picked it based on hierarchy in a very strange way.
True.
He gave seniority.
Yep.
Um,
100%.
I, I, I hope and pray that these youngsters can like figure that thing, like work around it,
Mm,
show these seniors off, like show them out, so that
mm,
it becomes undeniable. Like it's like,
yeah.
listen, you not putting this kid is you are lying.
Yeah.
You are fucking lying. You're taking a
Mm,
piss, and
yeah.
if we lose or something happens, your head is on the chopping block. It's
Yeah.
those kind of things. And until that moment comes, I don't know. But my starting 11 will be Zirkzee up top, Bruno my number 10, Nacho left, Ahmad right. Finish. Finish. I'm not even
Yeah.
joking.
Yeah.
Mainu, Kase, at the right there, Mazraoui,
Mm,
D left, because they come as a couple. It's a package deal, and those two at that right there. And then you have the butcher and you have the law. Simple.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously because Luke Shaw is not there, but we have the law sitting there. But
Yeah.
that for me is my strongest starting 11 right now. Like if you think about it, but hey man, it's tricky how you do it because Mason Mount is an
Mm.
asset.
True. True. True.
Yesterday, man, I was very impressed. You take Mason Mount out, yes, and I know it's weird because we didn't capitalize on the pressing that we did. We didn't score
Yeah.
goals 1-0. I get that, but when you see what the boy was doing in those moments that he was pressing and winning the ball higher up the pitch, and then you be
Yeah.
like, listen, if we can just relax, calm down, take control of this ball, distribute it the way and score, I think we'll be having a different conversation. So yeah,
Yeah.
man, like for me, man, it's good vibes. Like I'm still in good vibes this side, man. I'm like, ooh,
Yeah.
ooh,
Yeah.
yeah. It's not yet. I'm not yet at that point where I'm like, oh, I wanna, yeah, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've
Yeah.
seen people online and stuff going
Yeah.
berserk, and I'm like, wait, have you been watching preseason? Have you been following? Like, what one? I think this is
Yeah.
Manchester United, bro. Can you relax? We
Yeah.
won at home 1-0.
Exactly.
Next game, Brighton. After that,
Dude.
Liverpool. Can you chill? There are some things
Bruh.
that we will
Exactly.
discuss. Relax.
Dude. There's
Relax.
a
Take
lot
the
to be
three
there. I
points
think
and we
there's
move.
yeah, man, way more to be happy about than to be, sulking
Ah,
about, definitely. But yeah, man. Quick question.
yeah.
Since it is the first game of the season, first show of the season, what are your predictions, man? Where do you think Manchester United are gonna finish at
Top
the end
top
of the
four.
season?
Top
Huh?
four.
Top four.
Top four. I
Give
just
me
don't know
give me an exact position.
that. No, that is the tricky part
Yeah.
because yeah, I tried to think about it, and I'll be lying to myself if I can say I'll pinpoint because Manchester United, we still have our weaknesses. We are still
Mm,
not where we want to be. And even if we do get those guys, there's still a lot of gelling and coming together that needs to happen. So it's a
yeah.
journey. It's a journey, the ups and downs.
Mm,
The one positive I can take, you know, the one thing that costed us last season was our defense. Obviously, it was in shambles, but it
yeah.
was all right. It it was all right based on what we had, and I'll continue to give them praise. And I'm even more happy that we have improved our defense this season because, man, I don't know how people don't see that it's all eyes on the attackers. Like these guys need to score. Like we will keep on, the boys will keep on defending and defending and defending. But how you look at Onana yesterday? Did Onana have much to do? When we play
Nah.
against
It
Liverpool,
was
he
just
definitely
it was
is
just
going.
that one save. Yeah.
Yeah, when we play against Liverpool, he's definitely going to have something to do. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, man, I'll say we'll be fourth. I think that is the safest bet. Like that's the safest I can go because if I say third or second, it is me being pompous, it is me being arrogant, it is me taking a piss. But with the
Yeah.
squad that we have and the energy that I believe, because I'm expecting double digits from Garnacho and Ahmad, and I'm expecting double digits from Hoyland. And when I say double digit, maybe let me say combined double digits from Hoyland and Zirkzee. I'm
Mm,
expecting Bruno as well to do some, the Bruno that we signed, in the beginning. I'm expecting that assistant goals. I don't know why. I'm
yeah.
expecting screamers and a lot of and some bangers from Casemiro and Kobe Menu. So
Yeah.
there are things, and I feel like with that energy, I don't know, we'll be dancing in that top four. But what next season? What I'm saying is next season we're making Champions League. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Champions League football
Nice.
is coming back to Old Trafford.
Yeah.
That's my
No,
prediction.
fair enough.
What about you?
Fair enough. Yeah, man. I have United at fourth as well. I
Yeah,
think definitely would have put us higher if we had a full fit squad yesterday. full fit.
yes,
Everybody, Rasmus, Zirkzee ready to start, Lenny Yoro, Luke Shaw, everybody fit and ready to go. I would as go as far as finishing third, maybe competing to finish runners up second, you know. But for the
yeah,
sole fact that we don't have our full squad ready at the beginning of the season,
mm,
man, I just don't have, you know what I mean, any hopes for us to finish higher than fourth. But I think fourth, finishing comfortably fourth, I think will be a very good, season for us, to be honest,
yes.
because
And
City and Arsenal, whether people want to agree with it or not, those guys are just levels ahead. You know, those guys are going to be competing to win the league until we can get it together. And
mm,
then just after them, there's Liverpool that we can't deny is still a beast of a team. So
mm,
those are the only three teams in the Premier League that I can comfortably say are better than us. And we need to work on becoming better than them, in
mm,
order to occupy their current standings in the Premier League.
mm.
Chelsea, nah, not even a threat.
And yeah, I'm not
Not
worried
even a
about
threat.
Chelsea.
I'm not. They're failing to get it together. It's a joke.
Yeah,
It's an absolute joke at Chelsea.
so
So fourth for me would just it would be that thing of just proving, that yeah, you know what I mean. Like this is, it's a good stepping stone, and we can
mm,
only get better from there.
mm.
Europa, I'm expecting us to go to the final. You
To
know,
win it, like
yeah, even win it, even win
we're
it.
winning it.
Like,
Yeah, we have to
yeah,
win it.
I'm not
Mm,
expecting nothing less than us being in the final when it comes to
yep,
Europa League. I think we've got
yep,
enough quality, and just looking at the teams that are going to be in Europa, we
yeah,
should. I'm not going to say comfortably, but we should be able to reach the final. We should,
yes,
you know.
yes.
And then FA Cup is FA Cup, you'll just get knocked out by fucking Cornwall, some shit like that. It's very unpredictable until the end, so I'm not gonna say about that. And then the Carabao, yeah, man. I think it's again, it's like an FA Cup situation. It's either you want it or you don't. That's how I see, especially Carabao Cup. Either you want it or you don't. Because Liverpool, I think, are a team that have evidently in the past shown that they don't care about EFL competition.
Mm.
Because the team
Whereas
that
Man
they
City,
field in that competition is a joke.
mm,
They don't even try risk like a full starting 11, whatever. For me, it's either you want it or you don't, especially for the big teams in the Premier League. So,
you
hey,
know,
man.
I actually like how Man City take it very seriously because you look at
Mm,
a lot of their documentaries or whatever, they always talk about it as as the trophy that boosts them. You know,
yeah,
it's because we win you win it earlier. So, but it's the trophy that actually takes you like first of all, financially it helps the club. That's another
100%.
positive thing because that's the one thing that Man City have been very good at. And then on
Yeah,
top of that, it gives the players the confidence. Like, listen, guys, we already have one,
yeah,
four more to go. There's
yeah,
just that psychological shift in the
yeah.
whole
True.
situation. So, you know, and I heard the gaffer saying that whatever competition we are in, we are
Mm,
playing to win. And I remember we had that conversation some years back where we were like, what should Manchester be? Or what should we focus on the Premier League or the Champions
yeah,
League or this? I think right now it's safe to say that we are building based on the Ineos structure that has come to Manchester United, the depth and what we are trying to build at Manchester
yeah,
United. I think it's safe to say that, yeah, man, throw us in the mix of everything. Like we'll play here, we'll play there, we'll play here, and we're gonna
yeah,
field the strongest team that we can, on that day.
yeah,
So yeah, I'm pumped up, man. I
yeah,
really
yeah,
am.
yeah, yeah,
It was a nice game yesterday. When I was watching the game, I kept,
yeah.
those intricate moments where we didn't score. Ooh,
Mm.
bro. I just kept sitting there going, damn,
Yeah.
damn. I know,
Imagine
I
if we
know it's
buried
like
them.
whatever, but fuck, it was
Yeah,
so nice to see.
yeah.
Last season, none of that. Oh, and one last thing that I need to take out from this. I don't know if you've noticed, but the fitness levels were different this game
Mm, mm.
compared to last season against Wolves. Last
Yeah,
season against Wolves, bro, it looked like
bruh.
It looked
Zombies.
like we just ran a marathon before that game.
Bruh.
You know what I
Literally
mean?
just woke up from a Sunday afternoon nap,
Ah,
put on their kids and ran on the
and
pitch. That
went to
was
play.
last season first game.
Bro,
Mm,
I'm so happy that I didn't see any of that fatigue or any of that weirdness because we talked
yeah.
about the preseason. Bro, we talked about it. So
Mm,
that was another positive for me from that game because
true.
I believe last season we started slow because of that. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, if we had started on, I think we would have kept it on, but we started off bad and then we had to kind of like build up and in the process lost players,
Yeah.
bullshit, drama, and then
Mm,
it just became a mess.
yeah.
So yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. All right.
Hey, yeah, man.
That
So moving on.
was that was the first catch up episode of the new season.
Yes,
And
sir.
yeah, man, just hoping for good things to come.
Mm,
And we're gonna be here every Saturday morning recording. Episode will be out during the day, if not the next day in the morning. But
one time,
catch up
one
will
time.
always be out on the weekend. So thank you once again for listening to another episode of the Glory Reds podcast. And we'll definitely catch you guys in the next episode. Peace.
Peace.